Hello everyone and welcome to CEVO TV. We are finally getting live here at Counterlogic Gaming versus Mortality eSports, about to go live. And real quick, so you guys remember, take a peek at these CSGO Lounge odds for this one. Pretty heavily in favor of Counterlogic Gaming, as you can see, 94% to 6% for Mortality. So let's see if that holds true as map 1 is starting. And Cutler right off the bat able to take down Sick. It looks like CLG is starting this off pretty well here. Hazed and company teaming up to get some more frags. That's only going to leave Vice and Shinobi left alive with one gunfighting at long, and that's going to be shut down by CLG.
Yeah, just a little bit of aggression there at mid and across the board, really, from CLG, and they open up well. I mean, everyone getting a piece there except for Finesse, so almost a team ace, and no one went down for CLG either, so we will still go ahead and see them upgrade just a little bit here. Scout in JDM's hands, M4s for Hazed and Cutler already. FAMAS out for Tarek. So not a whole lot of SMGs, despite the fact Mortality had no bomb plan. So that's a little odd, but not that big of a deal here, as we do see Cutler trying to jump up on top of that box by himself. Just a 2-1-2 setup here for CLG. Cutler playing the mid, JDM and Hayes towards A, Tarek and Finesse towards B. So pretty typical CLG stuff. But here comes the fast mid hit from Mortality. But Cutler in such a good position.
He's going to have to try and move his way around, as Tarek will have to try and defend from outside B. Good spray down coming from Cutler, though. Gets himself 3 already. So they're just going to try and fight their way somewhere, but Hazed is there. Vice will find one, bails into the bomb site. Finesse will be ready for him, trying to hunt around this double stack. Can't make it happen, and Vice with the FAMAS will grab himself a second frag on the round. Uses the flashbang, tries to peek out, but the CLG members were not fully blind. Able to make that 2 in a row for Counterlogic Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, that was just Tarek doing a lot of damage from the window at Dust 2 that you saw there, and then Cutler being able to kind of use that to his advantage to get out and grab 3 frags, and that pretty much shut that down. But of course, it was a save for Mortality, so to be expected, they're going to kind of struggle a bit, and they will be forced to save here yet again. So CLG likely going to have the 3-0 start unless something crazy happens, as we are going to see Mortality just once again heading towards the B tunnels. May just look to try to smash in here, but a smoke will kind of stop them for now, but we do see them begin to gather up and lower. May try to go for the mid hit again, or just some type of B rush once that smoke clears. Also, good to note that Fabless is playing with them tonight. It's one of the first times I've seen that. They were using FGB before, so I guess they've made another roster change here with Fabless playing, I guess, his first match with the team.
Well, I believe they're both still rostered, and I thought Fabless was just going to be a backup going forward for FGB, but you know, something might have changed. Oh, Sick using the seam on that smoke to find himself a headshot there with the deagle onto Finesse. As Cutler gets one of his own, though. Good straight out frag to even it out, make it 4-on-4, but Mortality going to be back onto an eco again, of course. They haven't been able to pick up a round yet, haven't got a bomb plant either, so it's going to be tough. Flashbang comes to Tarek, not able to find any of those shots somehow. And finally gets punished by Fabless, and that was a rough look, as Hazed and Cutler will team up to clear out the end of that round. That'll be 3-0, but man, Tarek having some troubleshooting there from platform.
Yeah, he was trying to tap, but he was doing so a little bit too quick, and so none of his shots were really that accurate, but it wound up not mattering. I mean, his team clears it up, no big deal. Whitmer is going to have the op. AK's out across the board. Curious to see what type of role Fabless is going to play on this team. I remember he used to opt for a lot of different amateur teams he played on. He's going to be used as a primary rifle here, as of course Whitmer will be throwing the op. And, you know, they were trying to use FGB as a bit of an entry fragger, so I guess maybe Fabless might try to take on that role, or maybe someone else will step up to the plate instead. But just, you know, typical mid control here for Mortality, just your very default D2 stuff. But they're definitely going to press the issue here at mid. There's really no one in TT spawn, so it's going to be up to Finesse and Tarek from inside B to hold this.
So Tarek's going to be trying to smoke up the door. First one comes through, that Shinobi, he goes down. And Tarek's actually going to try and get out through the doors outside B, down towards mid. We'll get one. Vice trying to spray him down. He's low on HP. Vice turns away at the wrong time. That allows Tarek to escape. Man. As Finesse picks that shot up, Whitmer gets one with the op. But he's going to be 1 versus 4 now. Gets another fast one onto Cutler. He's got CTs all around him, though. One going through tons, one up at the B bomb site, and then one down in CT spawn. And Whitmer, if Finesse gets a little too aggressive here, Whitmer should be able to pick him up in lower B and make this a lot more manageable for him. But he does have the clock on his side at the moment.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we are going to see Whitmer, though, begin to step out here into mid. He has spotted Tarek out in the window, but he's also eating a little bit of nade damage there. Now down pretty low. He's heard JDM's op inside 2D spawn as well, so now he knows pretty much where everyone else, but gonna get hit by another nade, so not gonna have much of an opportunity to do much with that information. And so CLG is now up 4-0. They've won the pistol in the opening gun round now as well. Double op in effect. as Tarek will have the second one for his team, and Mortality, of course, going to be forced to save here. So very likely CLG taking the 5-0 start, and that's just a good B-hold from CLG. Of course, Mortality didn't really put any pressure in tons, so Finesse and Tarek could both just focus on the mid portion of that attack, and that was kind of their demise, I feel like.
So Tarek going to be aggressive towards mid, looking up through the double doors. Not able to find anything right off the bat, as Mortality will be on to an eco, and Finesse has to be careful here. Sick had eyes on him for the moment, but wasn't able to get a shot off, as we have Cutler elsewhere, able to get a one player down out of the way, so that gives them that one-man advantage with guns already. Finesse will use this smoke to try and move his way around to a better position. Lines up 3 frags. Sick is right there.
Oh, man.
Also, big 4K for Finesse. And what a lineup that went in his favor.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he kind of saw the first guy through the edge of the smoke, so that was understandable, but catching those next two, that's a bit rough. Then he just kind of guessed that the other guy would be on top of the box. That's kind of typical, right? You see players jump up on top of that box, should have looked over the smoke, and he just guessed correctly and found a 4th frag, and let Eco get shut down pretty quick. But Mortality back up to buying here. Whitmer back with the op, and so we'll see if he has a little bit better luck with it this time around, as, again, Mortality just opening up pretty default here, just getting into lower B tunnels, getting towards mid, getting their numbers in this area. Last time they went for a fast mid attack. Might see them kind of slow things down a bit since things didn't work out so well last time around here, as we do see Sick setting up that mid to be smoked, though.
But Tarek's going to be right there with the op, trying to see if anyone will work through it, and Whitmer's actually above him. And nope, Tarek tries to snap the shot up, not able to hit anybody, do any damage at all, so the Terrorists will be working their way up catwalk. Got to smoke down, preventing them from really being able to work out too fast, and JDM is there at car with the op. So this might be a very hard cat take for them to make happen, but they're going to go for it anyways and try and get into this A bomb site.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is where the op usually is on the A side of the map on Dust 2, and it can be so hard to get past it. They're going to rely on Whitmer to take the pick, but he misses. They don't have any nades or anything to support him, so that he was just all on the duel, and he lost it. And so that's opening pick here for CLG as we go into the later part of the round. Seems like Mortality's still trying to find their way into the A site.
Now Sick has the op in his hands. He's going to be up on top of those the bricks. He's going to work out initially. Flashbang goes down, able to take down JDM, who is blind. So Cutler will be the defense man here at the A bomb site by himself. Initially, he does have backup from Long, but he's got to be careful. He sat that one out way too long. Ends up getting picked up by Shinobi, and Hayes might get caught and hit, and he will.
No.
And that's going to be a bomb plan at the A bomb site with a couple of these CLG players getting caught off guard.
Yeah, and I think something's up with Finesse. I don't know. Like, he's been kind of...
And Tarek. Yeah, they're all lagging horribly bad.
Oh, great. Are we back to those days, Luca? Are we back to these days? To talk about the play, though, before we get into that, I mean, I think if they just would have had that flash they gave to Sick for him to get the op pick on JD, if they just would have did that the first time around with Whitmer, he probably would have won that, and they could have just had a straight-up 5-on-4. Instead, they made it a little bit more difficult for themselves, but Sick able to come up with the pick, and then they're able to crush onto A ramp as well. Hayes got caught off guard in the pit, and things just kind of fell apart for CLG at that point. But also, we know that 2 of the remaining players on that retake also were kind of lagging out of their minds, so they weren't even really able to be a part of it. And
that has to be why Cutler just sat there for that long.
Exactly. And this has been something that this team has struggled with several times this season because they all live in the same team house. So when your net has issues, it affects every single person rather than just one player. So it's kind of a blessing and a curse to be in a team house. Like, yeah, it's nice for the camaraderie as well as being able to hold each other accountable better and hang out and work on strategies in person and things. But it also, when it comes to tech issues, it just kind of exponentially increases the effect that it has. But hopefully they'll work past it tonight.
Yeah, hopefully that'll not be an issue tonight. That looked like just a little bit of a pretty big spot of lag that they had to run into right there. But that makes more sense. That's why Hayes got caught off guard. That's why Cutler just sat there that long, didn't move, even though he could hear them running or drop the flashbang. And so now we're going to be into round 7. This is going to be Mortality trying to get another round in their favor. And we actually have Sick able to take down the Opper from Counterlogic Gaming. JDM out of the way.
He had the better spawn there. I guess he had the op from last round, so he just took the pick and passed to Whitmer, and he got the pick, and then Cutler getting caught there by Shinobi. And again, we're seeing players just kind of standing still. Hayes, kind of died for free. Yeah, it's just continuing to be a problem here, and it's cost a couple of rounds, in fact. So at this point, I'm wondering if we're going to see another pause, and possibly we might even have to see some type of situation with the match medic, and yeah, I don't even know, man.
Yeah, that's definitely a huge rough look here if you're Counterlogic Gaming. We don't really know how those rounds would have went if they weren't lagging out here, but I mean, again, Mortality typing the pause because they know bad stuff is happening to CLG here. And what's interesting is they're not really going on the hunt. That's some pretty good gamesmanship coming out of these guys. I don't think they're really trying to.
I don't think it.
Maybe they might be.
I mean, I think they realize that this is
gone.
probably going to get medicked at some point. I feel like. I mean, obviously there's some issues going on here. It's starting to wonder how this. I can't actually read the in-game chat. I don't know if you can, so I'm not sure what players are saying here. But there's obviously something going on.
Yeah, Tarek just said, to be honest, don't bother pausing. Let's just play. And actually, it's been Mortality requesting the pauses every time that they realized that CLG is lagging. It's them requesting the pause because I mean, they're good sports. They don't want to play a bad game, and it looks like the lag is already back again. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a consistent problem throughout this game, and I would rather them just finally work on this issue and solve it before they play any more games in our league, because this has been something that's plagued them throughout almost all their games so far this season. We even had to have one like rescheduled to another day because of it, so it's definitely something they're still dealing with that they still have yet to solve.
So trades are already happening here at that A bomb site. We got JDM with the op in his hands, though. Does pick himself up a nice frag. That makes it a 2-on-3 as Mortality has control of A. This should or possibly be a third round in a row for them unless JDM and his teammate can say something about it, and they are. Only one player left alive now. That's going to be Shinobi. They know he's in the site, and JDM takes him down. That's a 3K for JDM, and that will prevent Mortality from getting a third round in a row. That'll make the score 6-2.
So I guess the internet gods shine down upon CLG that round to allow it to go through unfazed, and you see a great retake there from JDM with the op, but as soon as I say that in the freeze time here, they're back to having issues. But I guess they're just going to play through it and not call any more pauses this time around. So it's kind of hard to commentate a game like this, right? When you're so aware that there's like an outside force that's affecting this every single round almost. But I mean, I guess we're just going to be forced to try to grit our teeth here and talk through it. But I mean, no CT setup makes sense at this point, right? With everyone having so much trouble.
Yeah, I mean, they have something going on. I mean, two players are almost at an NOA boost, and two are almost boosted over.
You can tell that's what they want. Look at this double game help. This is new meta here. This is the double game helper setup from CLG. Not effective, though. Shinobi and Whitmer picking it apart as they take the A-bomb site.
So it will be a three-man retake attempt, trying to work their way up. Catwalk right now, and they're going to be able to find some shots right off the bat. Finesse gets one before taken down by Vice, and there's Tarek grabbing one also. So they've worked it into a 2-on-2 with JDM with an op in his hands, Whitmer in the pit with an op, and they know Vice is somewhere over there. Flashbang goes out. Tarek's going to push up, try and use this smoke as cover, but it doesn't matter. JDM very quick. They know the op is in the pit. Whitmer does find a shot onto Tarek. He's got to be careful here. He's going to look up for the bomb, and JDM picks him apart. Got to find that bomb. Gets on it, has a kit, and just barely enough time to get the defuse off. And that will be a 7th round now in favor of CLG. And Mortality's economy is depleted at this point. They did get the bomb plant, so they can force here. Oh, especially with Vice with 8K.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they're going to be able to get a little bit of something going here, but definitely having a little bit of struggles here. It seems like most of the rounds they've won have been more due to outside forces here. It's one that CLG's had their net going for them. They haven't really had a whole lot of success here, but CLG getting a little bit aggressive. Tarek pushing up mid, but quickly falls back as JDM finds the op pick onto Whitmer. So that's the bomb down in T-spawn for now, but it'll be quickly recollected. It won't really have an effect in the round as Mortality trying to get a quick trade at mid, but so far not really finding anything here.
Yeah, Sick does get that frag off onto Cutler, which evens it out, makes it a 4-on-4 now between the two teams. Bomb has been picked up, but Hazed in a great position, pushing through long, ends up getting caught by Vice, though, as Shinobi also gets a shot off there, removes Tarek from the round. So we're going to have Finesse and JDM, another clutch situation coming out here from JDM, and he finds a shot on Shinobi. He's looking for more as Finesse works up Catwalk, gets taken down. So JDM finds another, tries to get the jumping shot off, won't hit it though. He's still looking for it, misses the shot on Vice as he drops down on his head. And that is going to be held to a 3K for JDM and a 3rd round for Mortality.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, I mean, the big play there was Sick being able to get up Cat pretty much uncontested and find an opening pick on the corner and really open up that A-bomb site. And then Mortality just being able to hold off the retake there this time around. And, I mean, force CLG into a tough economic situation. You're going to see, I mean, JDM still has the op here, but everyone else is just going to be on the pistol. So definitely a bit weak on utility here is CLG as Mortality looking to try to get out of long, but that is in fact where JDM's op is going to be placed at, so he will be able to get the opening pick here for CLG. So despite them being low on guns here, they do have a man advantage.
See if they can turn this into a couple more kills for themselves here. Tarek's going to be boosted up above the tunnels. He needs to have some good bait here from Finesse to make this happen. And it doesn't look like the initial player checks it, drops down, doesn't get punished yet. They find 2 shots out of that. And Tarek going for another, won't make it happen. Fabulous and Whitmer shut that down finally, but it's already worked into a 3-on-2. And here comes the push into the bomb site. They're getting everything off that they need. Hayes grabs 2 through the window. And that's going to be 8-3 in favor of Counterlogic Gaming, based off of a very broken buy coming out from them.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the thing, right? I mean, Mortality's finding rounds here and there, but then they're losing rounds they really need to be capitalizing on if they do, in fact, want to, start working towards a tie. Yeah, you win the big gun round, but you got to follow it up by closing out, I guess, the easier rounds, the rounds where CLG is ill-equipped, and that hasn't taken place just yet for them. So CLG continues to do pretty well, despite the fact, again, here, they're having a rough time with the lag.
Yeah, lag is coming back here. They're doing everything that they can to prevent it from controlling
the
them.
game in slow motion.
Yeah, now they're just kind of locked into it. What's that?
What's that music that you see in like all the sports montages when it's in slow motion?
I don't know. There's a ton.
You
of
don't
them.
know? Yeah, that's kind of what's playing in my head right now as I watch them jump around CT spawn and half speed.
Yeah, luckily, though, for them, Mortality's taking this round very slow. It is an eco round coming out from them. So
Right.
CLG had a little bit of time to wait that lag out and be able to get into better positions here. But 4 players will be towards that A bomb site. They're going to have to try and rotate a little bit now because it looks like Mortality wants to try and gear up for maybe a mid to B. Or no, they're just going to go right back through the tunnels. Finesse, you got to be careful here. There's already a player in the site. Shoots him still as the flashbang drops. What a heads-up shot. Trades out the Deagle, tries to find Shinobi, will get it, can he get Fabulous too, does get him, tries to get a reload off, not enough time, has to go for the Deagle shot, steps in, finds the final one, gets himself a 4K, and what a huge play from Finesse, that's 9-3 CLG.
Yeah, I mean, here's the crazy thing is, like, that's 2 quad kill rounds now for Finesse inside the B-bomb site. So, 8 of his 13 frags have come off with just 2 really big individual efforts. We've seen Cutler come off with a big spray down at mid one time for a triple kill. So we're basically seeing just kind of everyone at one point in time this half have a really big individual play holding something. That's really helped CLG maintain the lead despite having some tech issues here. As we are going to see Mortality, though, bought back up, going back into their default positions, but Tarek getting aggressive with the finds the pick into lower B. He'll greet Pika, getting greedy here. Finds another. Holy cow. At least he's finally traded, but this is a lot of damage CLG has done.
Hayes is going to peek out. That's going to be bombed down in mid CT side. Getting spam there, trying to take down Vice. He doesn't know how close he is, but Finesse should be able to mop this up. Oh, he's going to go for the knife. Gets it. Lag comes out. He's going to get punished and gets the knife off, but the lag happens. So now JDM and Cutler both here at the A bomb site trying to rotate their way over in slow motion nonetheless to get over there. And Shinobi not moving yet. Shinobi's just kind of hanging on, thinking he's going to get pushed here. And this might give CLG the time they need for the lag to go. He's going to push through CT spawn, not even realizing both of the lagging counter-terrorists were right there. They end up taking him down, and that will make it 10-3 in favor of Counterlogic Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, they're just having a really big CT side here, which is something that CLG has been pretty well known for, usually on other maps, but here on Dust 2, also a good map for this team that we know, of course, and they're doing great tonight. As Mortality going to be forced to take a really bad force buy here with only a couple of rounds left in the half, so definitely not a good boat to be floating in. But no, just trying to do a B rush, and I mean, they're just going to eat so much damage from that fire, but they do get the jump on Tarek lagging out here in the site. And Finesse, same problem. God, this hurts to watch when stuff like that happens, man.
But looks like the lag is over with, so now the rotates are coming out from that A bump. Nope. Right as I said that, JDM goes into moonwalk mode again, and they are just stuck outside of the B bomb site at the moment, just with so much lag. Can't try to get the retake going yet. And just waiting for it to go away so they can try and get into this bomb site. It would be a 3 versus 5 in round 14, but there goes Cutler, so now it would be a 2 versus 5. JDM's going to get stuck in mid. He goes down. Only one left. That's going to be Hayes. They find him, take him down, and that's a 4th round for Mortality now as we hit the final round of the half.
Yeah, so with the final round of the half, we have CLG, of course, up to a really big lead here at 10-4, but at least we've seen Mortality find some rounds here and there. They were gifted with a couple of easy entries at B that time around and were able to capitalize on it. So getting the second to last round, despite the fact they're on a bit of a force buy. Now it's CLG who are on a tight buy here with just a couple of FAMASas and a 5-7 only onto Tarek, but he's going to get aggressive again on Xbox. He's been doing this quite a lot here. This time not finding anything and then just taking some damage as he falls back through the smoke. As Mortality just stages up here at mid. Could go either way at this point, as we'll just see what they hope to do here.
So it's going to be final round of the half here. CLG is going to be bought out into this thing. Everything that they can afford as JDM does hit one onto Whitmer. Vobless is able to take down Tarek as the lag is returning here for Counterlogic Gaming. Just trying to rotate themselves into better positions before they get caught out. And JDM still up, out in mid. All the T's are on catwalk right now. And we actually already have Hayes rotated over, ready to defend from long A if he needs to. Cutler will be there inside the bomb site. Flashbang comes down. Perfectly blind will be Hayes. He goes down, but Cutler finds two as JDM gets one. And Cutler will get all three of those players that worked up and stayed on cat. That'll be an 11-4 half in favor of Counterlogic Gaming.
Yeah, so I mean, despite the problems that CLG faced, they still wound up getting, a score that we expected. I mean, they're the heavy favorites coming into this. They got a big lead in the first half from CT side. They're expected to beat Mortality with no problem, at least, when you think about where they're at in the North American rankings and the fact that, Mortality is a newcomer to the pro league with some young guys that don't have a lot of experience. So this is kind of, whenever you mix that all up, this is kind of the recipe. This is the, what you expect to build from that. So we'll see if Mortality can, fare a little bit better here on their CT side. See if they can make this a close game or a respectable one. Or, it could be very likely that CLG just kind of steamrolls through here. It seems to be the trend.
Yeah, so now we're just waiting for a final player to ready up. And, who are we waiting on? It's actually Shinobi from Mortality. But yeah, I think everything is going in favor of CLG. Even with the lag in the rounds, they're able to drop a few players, unlag, come back into that round, and end up dominating their way through. So I think as long as the lag is not too horrible here, CLG should pretty much mop this one up relatively quick.
I mean, that's what you would hope, but I mean, there was at least 2 rounds that were completely lost based off of lag alone. I mean, I can remember that one, for example, in B, where both B defenders are just lagged out and they get entries so easily, and it's a 5-on-3 for Mortality. So there's no doubt that it certainly played a role. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Mortality. It's obviously not their fault that's happening to CLG, but you can definitely tell that half might have even been much worse had it not have been for some of those shenanigans. But CLG still seems to be holding out pretty well despite some of those misfortunes, which is, I guess, like that's what we kind of expected to happen.
Yeah, it's rough to say we've had one CLG game so far that wasn't bad, but
yeah, and it apparently was only because the DDoSers decided to take a night off, according to a tweet from Finesse. They were told that we'll leave you alone tonight, and that's the one good match we've had out of CLG was that particular night. I guess tonight it was not the case.
Yeah, hopefully they can get that sorted out at their house and get everything fixed that they're in, because, I mean, it's not only affecting CLG CS, it's affecting all the other CLG members that are in that house, so.
I mean, you would think that there'd be some investment made into some type of extra security for a team house like that, so hopefully, I'm sure the players have let management know what's going on, so hopefully they can get that sorted out, because I know it's definitely had, at least for us in the CS world, a huge effect on CLG being able to participate properly in online matches without lots of delays and stuff. So hopefully we won't see too much more of that tonight because, we'd like to see a fair game, of course.
Yeah, definitely. We want to see the best out of both teams that we possibly can see, especially with Mortality wanting to try and stay in this Pro League argument here with getting some points, trying to work their way towards the land. And Cutler fast out the long A house, gets some good damage off. He's going to back up, and it's going to be CLG trying to make their way into the B bomb site. Not able to find a frag yet. There it is. They get 2 now, but the answer frags returns are quick. Can Hayes not get the shot on the very weak Whitmer? Finesse does take him down, but he's got to be careful. He already has Sick working his way out mid, and I don't know if he hurt him, so he's going to go back for the bomb. Plenty of time left on the clock here for Finesse to try and work this. And it's actually going to be Sick working his way up through the double G. And sees the head on Finesse, takes him down. Mortality will pick up the pistol round.
Yeah, I mean, that was Hayes just kind of missing some key shots there on a weak player coming up the rotation B, and then Finesse just not planning in the proper spot. He was a little bit exposed to that door. and thus unable to get the plan off. And there you have it. Mortality is going to win the pistol round. You will see them upgrade because of it. A couple SMGs, couple of rifles in play. We do have the Scout onto Hayes and some upgraded pistols here for CLG. As they're not really committing to anything too heavy just yet, but they could definitely do a quick cat or a quick mid to B here, as they are all gathered up at mid. And Cutler will, in fact, be leading the charge up cat to get some information. And they come out mid as well.
Yep, so CLG just going to go fast out mid to try and cause some distraction over here at that B bomb site. Tarek's going to be left out fighting outside the B double doors, trying to make something happen as the rest of his teammates will be working up catwalk. They have a free and clear open A bomb site. Sick is going to hear it. He's going to rotate up to try to defend as Whitmer comes from long A also, and Sick gets his way up the ramp, gets one before JDM takes him down. Have Whitmer at long now, trying to make this battle happen, but his teammate on the rotate so weak. That's Vice with only 4 HP.
Right. I mean, he doesn't really have the gun you'd like to have when you're trying to take a long-range fight, but he's still in that shot regardless here. JDM trying to clear things out with the Scout. He's in a tough 1v3, and he will get closed in. So, I mean, CLG threw like kind of a cool double fake there. Like they put Cutler up cat first, pulled some people off CT spawn, and then rushed out mid, but then re-hit cat. So it's kind of a cool little double fake there, but the rotation for Mortality was strong enough to make the retake happen and hold off CLG and collect another round and probably now fit into some type of 3-0 pattern. But with that bomb plant, you are seeing CLG kind of force up a little bit again.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see what's going to happen here. And they will be partially. Yeah, they're not buying too heavy into it, though, but
Tarek
did,
but everyone else pretty conservative.
Yeah, upgraded pistols coming out for everyone else, so they didn't buy a ton into it, which is a little interesting. I mean, Tarek dropped his cash down pretty low. Cutler hits an initial shot onto Whitmer. Let's see if he can grab another one. He knows where Sick is. He's fighting against him. They're just going to try and double up on him at long. That'll be Sick and Shinobi who force up around Blue Bin to make that shot happen, as Hayes will sneak up catwalk. He's going to get a bomb plant again, so money coming out here for Counter Logic Gaming. They can just hold on to this round, though. Still trying to fight. We're going to have Hayes with the deagle in his hands, trying to pop some shots off. He's doing good damage. Tarek needs to get over there and help cover, as Hayes does pick that initial one up. Tarek, he's been spotted, though. They know exactly where he is.
And he's
lagging. The lag.
Yeah, he's having a rough time here in the corner, boys, and he will get taken down. I mean, you did note the bomb plant comes in, so that does help their money going into the next round, but Mortality, able to... I mean, they're really just committing a lot to long A. They're leaving cat pretty open, and because of that, it's allowed CLG on a couple different occasions to work up cat and at least get some bomb plants into the site. But you got to wonder if that pattern kind of holds up on rifle rounds, and CLG, will be finding themselves probably some more fortunate circumstances to be able to close out some rounds on that A site, because you can kind of see that they're getting some nice picks and entries even with just pistols and stuff. So when you add rifles to the equation, I'm sure it's going to be a bit tougher on Mortality to hold some of that stuff off.
Yeah, so guns will be coming out here from CLG. Tarek gonna go Scout head armor again, but we are paused. It's just coming from Mortality, though, not due to the CLG lag. Apparently somebody was having an issue at the house, so he had to take care of that real fast. Now he's going to get back to the game. They're going to unpause it, get live into round 19 with Mortality. I wouldn't call it a comeback yet, but picking up some good initial rounds thanks to taking that pistol home.
Absolutely. So we will actually even see a double hop coming into play here from CLG and a Scout on the Tarek, and you almost get that feeling like CLG's not playing like they normally would. I don't know if it's like just the frustration of the situation they're in with the lag, but this is definitely not, you wouldn't expect a double op with Hayes and JDM and then Tarek having a Scout. Like, it's just not typical play from CLG. They're also a lot more aggressive on some of these. Our Cutler, as a player, is being a bit more aggressive than you would expect him in kind of his new support IGL role. So definitely a bit of uncharacteristic play here from CLG, but so far it hasn't hurt him too much. I mean, they still have a lead, but it's a small window that Mortality's using to try to pull an upset here on this map, and we'll see if it pans out.
So CLG still trying to hold on with these the bottom rifles that they got. First time they've had it this half. As Mortality did take the pistol, was able to get the two anti-ecos off. Even though CLG was buying into those rounds a little bit, they were getting bomb plants to help build their economy, so they could buy in the fourth round, the second half. Oh, but Hayes gets caught out in the open, up on the smoke on catwalk. Sick was down below him, had an angle, ends up spraying him down. That's going to be an instant 5-4 advantage as the lag is back for CLG.
Yeah, definitely. And they're already a man down. They're getting slowed down by the lag as well, so that they can't really be quick on the response like they want to. It seems like they are beginning to gather up here inside the B tunnels, including the bomb carrier Cutler. They do have Vice down low in the site, and Finesse does have maybe a chance to try to, find the entry here and help open this site up. But there are two players in place here. Fabulous is rotated in, and Vice is finding the spam.
Yeah, able to spray down the initial two. JDM with the off his hands ends up missing the shot on Vice. That'll be a 3K for Vice. The other two go in favor of Sick, and we're going to be 11-8 in favor of CLG, who's still trying to find that round from the T side now that they're on second half.
Yeah, so CLG going to be forced just to kind of get some Tech 9s here, and this is allowing Mortality to kind of climb back into the game despite having a pretty lopsided result in the first half. Mortality turning things around as we do see CLG with these Tech 9s just looking like they want to get out of it along pretty quick with the flashes. Mortality doesn't even contest it. Sick just falls back to Game Helper. This gives CLG some room to work with, and we'll see what they can do with it.
So round starting off in favor of Mortality. That's going to be Sick, able to pick up the initial two. As Counterlogic Gaming still trying to work with some upgraded pistols. Nothing really going in their favor yet. Hazed up on Catwalk. P250 in his hands. Does get a little damage off, but ends up going down to 9 HP. That'll leave just JDM and Hazed as we lose Haze. So JDM at long with the bomb on his back. Last man left. He does take down Sick. He's going to rotate around. He wants to try and find somewhere so he can get into a bomb site, get a bomb plant, get some money out of this at least. But he's kind of caught out now. They know he's at Palm Tree. Still just trying to work the Tech 9 as Fabulous finally picks him up with the op headshot. That'll be 11-9.
Yeah, so Mortality continues their climb towards the tie as they have yet to lose around this half. CLG unable to construct a terrorist round just yet here, but they are going to have a full buy and a normal one at that. I mean, they just have JDM on the solo op. Everyone else on AKs, as you'd expect. They have pretty decent nade sets as well, so this should be around where they should be able to work whatever type of tactic they'd like to. As JDM just posts up at mid, not finding anything. Finesse going pretty fast in the B with this bomb, but I guess he will start to fall back, but Tarek has found a pick elsewhere, so they do have the man advantage here.
Ooh, but Vice out in mid lines the two shots up as Fabulous is able to find one himself inside the B bomb site. Gets some good damage off on Hayes, tries to jump again. JDM all alone now, 1v3. Tries to jump up on the box right outside the door to tunnel. Can he line that up? Not able to. But,
Sick lined it up though.
Yeah, Sick did line it up, able to kill his own teammate. And that is going to be Mortality bringing this within one now.
Yeah, I mean, well done there. I mean, it was just a really fast mid-B split there from CLG. Tarek did get the initial pick at mid to kind of help things out along the way, but when you see Vice put up a pretty solid play there to close that out. I mean, he's been playing well overall. He's a top fragger for his team with 17 frags, and that was certainly a solid play from him. The CLG will buy up some AKs, and again, they're just going to look to rush into the B bomb site, but are going to take a lot of damage from that nade fire. Actually, not that much.
Yeah, they actually end up finding the shot on device there as Fabulous does get one of his own. We're going to be even at a 4-on-4 here. Retake attempt going to be coming out if CLG can get that bomb across the double doors. They're going to line up three. Yes, they will. That is Hayes getting all three. Sick, Shinobi, and Fabulous trying to work through the double doors. JDM will spot out Whitmer, takes him down. Now it's a foot race to get to the op, and he has more than enough time to get there. But Hayes, big 4K inside the B bomb site to finally end the drought that CLG was having with T-sided rounds.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? They just do a really quick B rush. They somehow beat the Incendiary and don't really take any nade damage either. So they get out of B without taking any heat, and they're able to get the entries and secure the round. And obviously, Hayes had a big part of that, just lining up three inside the doors there. So a little bit of a mistake with Mortality just to kind of sit there like that and not move around. But also Hayes hitting a nice spray down. And now you see the aggression cat, though, from Mortality trying to contest this bomb, and they do, in fact, get it down with an even trade.
Yeah, Sick doing good things there to make that shot happen. And Tarek's going to be trying to find one of his own on Shinobi out in mid. Jumps up on Xbox. Shinobi will punish him for it. But he does go all the way down to 3 HP to make it happen. Oh, JDM with the Tech 9 in his hands. What an animal. He's got to be careful. He's full blind here. Shinobi works up through the smoke, but Shinobi's got his flank.
Oh.
And they should see each other in a matter of seconds. Yeah, Shinobi does spot him. Bomb down on Catwalk. And CLG having the lag again. And Hayes is going to go try and grab it, though.
Yeah, I think he
should.
He can't.
Missed it.
He can't. He missed it because of the lag, and also JDM getting caught in mid partially due to it as well. But Hayes in a 1 versus 2 here. He will probably at least get the bomb plant here. And that is, in fact, what's going to happen. There is one player inside the pit. It's going to be Shinobi. I mean, both players are pretty low HP, so Hayes does have a chance here, but he has no clue there's one long. And so Shinobi will get kind of the surprise frag on him there. So the bomb will be defused, and Mortality will push this to 11 rounds and get ever closer to that tie situation here. As CLG kind of continues to struggle on the T side. And I really hate to analyze it too much, though, Luca, just because of the outside forces in play here. It's kind of hard to read the rounds properly, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's hard to accurately analyze what's happening here because we see lag in almost every one of these rounds. Even when CLG wins it, we still see the lag, and you can't ever just be like, all right, well, that was a bad play, and he shouldn't have done that, or he should have done this.
It also affects the timings of everything. So you can never really know how CLG was really going to respond to a pick or respond to a rotation because they're always delayed. And that's why they're trying to beat out the lag by just rushing these rounds, I feel like.
Yeah, if they can get in the site fast enough, get the shots off, they can generally beat the lag. They're trying to do it again here at the B-bomb site, but Fabless and Vice are putting up a pretty good fight here, and Vice not able to find that shot, even though he was right in the face of Finesse. So it's going to be Whitmer and Sick versus JDM, Finesse, and Cutler. No, we lose Finesse. Cutler down extremely low. JDM hits the op shot. Now it's a 2-on-1, and he should end it right here. Misses the shot, though, as now it's going to be a 1-on-1. Got to be careful. Whitmer is just going to be hanging out, and the bomb is across the double doors. That flashbang gets Whitmer full blind. Smoke comes down. Not the greatest smoke in the world, but JDM is able to get across, pick up the M4. He has the bomb with tons of time to work with now. Throw a flashbang. Does he just try and push through that? I hope not. He's going to go for the resmoke, and Whitmer right around the corner from him. Smoke comes out again. JDM's able to get himself across, trying to see if he knows where Whitmer is. Going to go for the safe plant, and Whitmer's going to push in. He hears him, tries to peek out, but Whitmer hits the 5-7 headshot. And that is going to be Mortality tying this up 12-12.
Yeah, so I mean, they've tied it up. They've had a big second half here on the CT side, despite kind of the first half not going their way. And I mean, yeah, it just seems like we're watching a game of Counter-Strike where it's a normal game of Counter-Strike, but then on top of that, CLG has a timer they have to beat every round in order to play it out normally. So you definitely see them being a lot more, not to say that they weren't ever aggressive before. Certainly they had their aggression at times, but it's definitely more often than usual just because of the situation. And unfortunately for them, it really hasn't panned out so well for them so far on the T side in those situations. And now they'll just try to barrel up Cat here with the Tech 9s with 3 players towards A to defend against this.
Oh, Cutler with the jump shot takes down Shinobi, gets himself a rifle. He's going to try and turn it into 2. But Sick prevents it, and there's another one for Sick. Now, Finesse, last one left it long, tries to fight against the op with a pistol, but nope, not going to make it happen, and Mortality will take the lead away from Counter Logic Gaming.
Absolutely. I mean, you could just see CLG, again, just trying a really fast tactic with those Tech 9s up Cat, but getting held off. Sick had a nice play there with the M4 from the A ramp, and again, despite an opening pick there from Cutler, CLG is still getting shut down there. So we are going to see CLG, put in a 4-spy here, just 3 upgraded pistols and a couple of AKs and limited utility. And again, they're just going to try another quick rush. This time it's going to be out long A, but again, 3 Mortality members here to contest against this.
They're going to peek out. They get the initial shot off, trying to string it into some more, but Mortality controls long A very well there between Whitmer and Shinobi. Shinobi got 2, Whitmer got 1. Sick got traded out after he got a frag, but still, now Tarek going to be in trouble trying to hide back in the doors, pulls the pistol out, gets 1, and Shinobi will bring him down. That'll be 14-12 now in favor of Mortality, and they're getting dangerously close here to ending this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, looking like Mortality might be able to actually pull this one out. And I hate to throw the word like upset out there because I feel like it's not even been like a truly legit game, to be honest. So I think that they'll always, even if Mortality walks away with the win here on paper and people will look at it, maybe not know, but I feel like there should be like this asterisk next to it that clearly states what kind of happened here today, because this is not the CLG we expect to see, especially just the style of play has been affected, the lag has affected it. I mean, it's just been a rough game all in all. But again, you don't want to take away from Mortality or blame them. It's obviously not their fault. They're just playing the game normally. And they might, in fact, wind up with an upset because of it. We'll see as CLG, again, trying to come up Cat quick.
Yeah, they're able to work their way up. They're going to drop 2 players down into CT, but they can't pick up Sick. was using that smoke pretty effectively here till the flashbang comes out. He ends up going down. And that'll turn this into a 4-on-2 in favor of Mortality. Tarek's going to trade out his rifle. Now he's going to be the last one standing. Only 28 HP to work with. And Shinobi peeks him. Tarek forces backwards in the smoke. Will get caught. Shinobi with another 3K round. And Mortality is on map point now for map number 1.
Yeah, and I mean, CLG, I mean, they've just been kind of forced to force by these last few rounds, and again, it's going to happen as we're just going to have a couple of Gleals and 3 AKs and very limited nade usage, and I mean, not that it's typical CLG play on Dust 2, but just the trend this particular instance has been them just really fast, just really, you know, pushing something aggressively and just kind of rushing in the first, you know, 20 or 30 seconds. So that's kind of what I expect to see here again, I suppose, as that's what's happened time and time again so far, as we do see them gathering up in lower B, so it could be just a quick mid to B hit here coming out.
Looks like they want to try and make that happen, but Mortality will be defending there. They might actually push up and catch the bomber in a bad spot here.
Oh, yeah,
he's actually going to peek up on him. And man, makes the shot. Shinobi takes down Finesse, bomb down top mid. And he's actually going to bail backwards, so they have that 5-on-4 advantage now. 5-on-3, 5-on-2.
Wow.
As Sick gets 2 shots off. Now it's going to be 5-1. Whitmer closes it down. We're looking towards map number 2 now as Mortality brings it home 16-12 against Counterlogic Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, that round really wasn't like lag or anything involved. It was just Shinobi kind of making a heads-up play, pushing through long and catching the bomb in an awkward space. I mean, 4 of the guys were kind of gathered up at double doors, either looking to explode mid or cat soon, but then the bomb goes down. That kind of, you know, puts a damper on everything, and they have to try to quickly scramble and respond to that situation. And then that just leads to Mortality getting some really quick kills, you know, there at mid, and that's, you know, it all of a sudden. So Mortality, despite the first half where they really went down, they wound up winning it, you know, 16-12. So there you have it. Map 1 is in the books. We'll now move on to Cobblestone, but we will take just a quick break first. But yeah, the Cobblestone will be up here momentarily, so just stay tuned.